So for September's updates, we have a lot to go over as the headline just happened. For those of you guys who are coming in from the PS4 side, well, welcome on in. It's your first headline. So let's just jump into it. Beginning September 7th, we have the return of the moon gazing event. During this event, the world will basically be decorated and new enemies and rampies will appear throughout the world. Enemies will also have seasonal icons above their heads, meaning that they'll be able to drop seasonal points. Collect enough seasonal points and buy out things from the event shop, and honestly, you'll be able to get some pretty decent rewards out of this. For any existing players, this event really isn't anything special, but for PS4 players who are just now starting, this event will give you an excellent head start. Alongside the event, there will be a limited time quest called Moonlight Invasion. This entire limited quest is basically paying homage to a 10-year battle that happened long ago, and what I can only describe as lore that we do not actually have for the game. Sorry to say it, but like, where did the timeline come from? There were new AC scratches. And then honestly, the most exciting part of the entire headline, which was Cannonball Strike. Cannonball Strike is the actual upgraded version of Cannonball Rumble, where you have the same modifiers that were basically available to you back in the Geometric Labyrinth. Ultimately, the rewards are basically the same as the base version of Cannonball Rumble. However, this time there are other accessories and motions that are available in this version. So if that's something that you're after, collecting all of the motions and accessories, then you definitely want to go for this. Just to throw in some of my own opinions here, I still don't think this entire quest line is rewarding right now. It still feels to me like Sega is future-proofing their game with content like this, while current players are kind of like, what do I do? But PS4 players coming on in, you're gonna enjoy this, just saying. There's a new mission pass, but the coolest thing was the motion. Then for the second half of September, we have more event. Basically, it's gonna be a refresh of the store, so if you bought everything during the first half, you'll be able to buy everything again during the second. There's a new field race that'll appear. I'm not really the biggest fan of field races, but this one looks interesting. As usual, they showed off more AC scratches because, hey, whatever. Anyway, one thing I will mention is that there are a lot of accessories and motions that come out of this particular scratch that I really enjoy. And just like Randomite coming back earlier, Still Graces are going to be coming back during the second half. One thing I did forget to mention is that Randomite is coming back, and it should be available for the entire duration of September. Now, the questions for the Operation headline, I really do feel like I need to know who's choosing these questions because it's like nobody asked. There was a question here about the Megalotics, and honestly, the only thing I have to say about this is that they're going to make this more rewarding with higher drop rates for weapons and better augments and items that'll drop from them as well. Good change, but I'm not sure where any of that kind of fit into what people have been asking for. There's a question where basically Emperor Appies spawn fixed location, but it's away from the dread enemies that you have to kill to be able to make them spawn in the first place. In future events, they're going to be changing that so Emperor Appies will spawn where the dread enemies are. Again, this is really cool for the current events that are going on, but really nothing that anybody really cared about other than the events that they appeared in. There were two questions that really aren't worth going over, and then this one is probably the most important because they did wind up saying that there will be balance changes that are going to be happening in October, but they are working their hardest to be able to make that happen sooner. This is exciting because basically a lot of classes and weapons, despite them being fun to play, still need a little bit of work to make them pretty much on par with each other. They'll let us know again that the Melty Blood type Lumina crossover is going to be happening again. TLDR Melty Blood, very popular fighting game series that's based off a visual novel, made its way to Evo, really cool stuff, but anyway, moving on. And one thing I think is really cool is that they wound up having offline events at Anime Expo and Arcs Expo in Japan, where people got to see a lot of concept art and a lot of statues that were available in the game, celebrating the 10 years of Phantasy Star Online 2, and honestly, it was kind of cool. But for the most part, the reason why this is even worth bringing up is because there's going to be an online version of this event, and there will be keywords scattered throughout the event that will allow players to be able to get the Arcs Expo items that people wind up obtaining for the 10th anniversary by visiting these offline events. So this is going to be your last opportunity to be able to participate in this. And then lastly, there's going to be a vocal version of Unfathomable Darkness, so that's going to be really exciting to see once it's available in game. And personally, I have a lot to discuss about the actual game state itself. I've been sitting down thinking about a lot of things that the game could do better just as a game developer, but I'm going to wait just a little bit longer because honestly, I feel like there's something happening that I'm just missing. There's a piece of this puzzle that I just don't have yet. So PS4 players, for those of you guys who are going to be playing the game, I hope that you are going to enjoy it. There's at least a couple hundred hours for the NGS and base PS2 versions of the game, and ultimately it should be a great experience for anybody who's brand new to the game. I'm just in a place, and I'm sure that a lot of the player base also feel that there's nothing for the veteran players, especially with things right now is where a lot of of us got our Kaiser weapons, but then where do we use them? It's kind of nothing to do besides maybe purple or like purple battle dias or even dark falls. The cannonball stuff is fun, but ultimately, but yeah, those are just my thoughts. Anyway, thank you guys again for watching. Enjoyed the recap. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out.